What I'm about to show you in this video is one of our best kept secrets. It is the exact ad testing strategy that allowed us to scale our AI marketing agency from $100,000 a month in February to $500,000 a month in August. And to be honest, I'm a little nervous about putting this video out because it is one of the main reasons that has allowed us to scale so aggressively and so fast while also staying profitable. But my ultimate goal is to put out as much value into the marketplace so that majority of you guys just get some value from the video, but a small percentage of you like what we're doing and ultimately want to come work with us to help us build a billion-dollar company. Don't have a course or anything to sell you, just sharing the videos that I wish I would have seen sooner. So let's dive in. All right, cool. Let's dive in. So as you can see right here, I've kind of mapped out the overall process of what it looks like. I'm going to dive into each of the steps. There's basically 5 key steps to this creative process. So we're going to start with step number 1, which is inspiration. Now, inspiration is basically how you get inspired to make different ads, right? Pretty simple. Now, if you already have current winning ads that you're running, so if you already have a business that's successful, that is the first place you're going to look. You're going to look at your current winners and use those for inspiration. The other thing that you can do is competitors, right? So you can have competitors within the industry. You can also have people that are doing similar businesses in adjacent industries. So for example, if I was doing med spas, I could also look at roofers. If I was doing chiropractors, I could also look at what other people are doing in the dental industry, right? For example, you can look at different adjacent industries and then also just like random good ads that you see online. Like I look at V-Shreds ads. My business has nothing to do with V-Shred or fitness or personal training or anything like that, but I'll take inspiration from their ads. And essentially what you do is you want to make a swipe file. So I use a company called Foreplay. It's not what it sounds like. It's like you basically you can save ads there and build like a swipe file. And so as you go through like the Facebook ads library, you can essentially like save the ads to that board, and then you can go back and reference the board when you go to create ads, right? And then one of my favorite things to do is actually looking at sales call recording. So as a marketer, you should be looking at what's going on the sales calls, listening to at least a few hours of sales calls every single week to come up with advertising angles and to refine your process. So basically, inspiration, it's hard to like totally systemize inspiration because it comes to you, but you want to control the inputs. So this is basically the inputs that you want to have. Winning ads, again, competitors, adjacent industries, random good ads, and organic content that you see. Create a foreplay board, swipe file of all the things that you like, and then also reference sales calls. So then what you're going to do is, let's say this is stage 1 here, right? You're going to do an 80-20 on angle tests. So let's say on the left here, this would be the first go round, right? So maybe I have 8 angles just for the sake of example. So I have angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. And let's say angle 2 is the best performer, right? Let's say this one takes off the most. What I'm going to do on stage 2 is like 80% of my testing of what I do is going to be variations of angle 2. So you can see I basically coded that in different shades of green. And then I'm also going to do new tests, but it's going to be like a smaller percentage of the budget, right? This is going to be more so what it's like on the left, to be clear, when you're first starting out. And then once you have stuff that's working, it's pretty much always going to look like the one on the right, right? So I'll give you an example. For lawyers, you guys can kind of see how this plays out in a less abstract way, actually seeing what different angles would look at. So let's say stage 1, I did stop depending on referrals. You didn't become a lawyer to learn marketing. How top attorneys attract premium clients. Stop paying for clicks, pay for clients. Get 10 new cases per month. Fastest way to get 3 new clients per week. Stop losing clients to DIY legal sites. Steal clients from big name law firms. Stop wasting $5K a month on bad agencies. If your calendar isn't full, your ads aren't working. So those would basically be angles that I could test, right? So an angle basically is a way in which you are trying to sell your service, put simply. So let's say I tested all 10 of those angles, and let's say that angle number 5 and angle number 6 were the best performers. Those were the winners, right? So then the next go around, the next test that I would do would look like this. So this would be stage 2. I would be doing variations of the proven angles. Get 10 new high-paying clients per month, get 10 new cases per month without cold calling, Here's how lawyers are getting 10 new cases per month, get 15 new cases per month. So I'm testing different things. Here I'm testing a different number. Here I'm testing a different way of saying it. Here I'm saying without cold calling. And here I'm saying high paying cases, right? And then I would also do best way to get 3 new clients per week, how lawyers are getting 3 new clients per week, fastest way to get 5 new clients per week. This funnel gets you 5 new cases per week. Can you handle it? And then, so that's my 80. 80 is proven winners. My 20 is 9 and 10. Get new law clients in 7 days or less. The secret marketing source, top attorneys, or gatekeeping, right? So you can kind of see how it plays out. So what we want to do with those angles is we want to actually create them on photo ads. Now, a lot of people will tell you video ads are the best type of ads, and that is true. But here's the thing. So there's a book called Seeking Wisdom, and it basically talks about like the first principles of everything. It's a really good book. I would recommend reading it. I'm still reading it, so I haven't extracted all of the wisdom from that book. But this is one of the things that stood out to me. Evolution is one of these concepts that you can see throughout business, throughout life, everything, right? It's a first principle of existence is evolution. And so basically, evolution has 3 rules. You have competition within a species, you have individual variability, and you have a changing environment. So what that means is, if I have a little village of chipmunks, right? They're competing against each other for a shared number of resources. Individual variability, right? So the chipmunk that has like bigger muscles and can run faster, climb the trees faster, that's individual variability. And then a changing environment. So as the environment changes, natural selection selects for the traits that are most advantageous, right? So a little abstract, but let's kind of zoom it back in. So the number one best trait that you can have in evolution, I promise I'll tie this back into ads, is adaptability, right? So we have this little example here. Let's say I have a fish and a frog, and they both live in a pond, right? But let's say the fish is like super well adapted to the pond. Like, it's got this little light thing in front. It can catch all this food. It can swim around. It can do whatever it needs, right? But then if the pond dries up, the fish is dead, but the frog is chilling because the frog is adaptable. So it's not actually about how well adapted you are to your environment. It's about how adaptable you are to a changing environment, because the only constant is change. Same exact thing in marketing. So an example, let's say there's 2 different marketing companies, and one is really dialed in on one specific angle and one specific offer. But what happens when that offer dries up? Let's say the other company, they're dialed in on their offer, but not as dialed in as this other company, but they're always testing new things, and they can move fast, and they're adaptable, right? The first company's adapted very well. The second company is adaptable. Well, the second that the market shifts, this company is going to go to shit, and this other company is going to continue to rise and take over their market share. So why do I say all this? The whole premise of how I set up and designed this creative testing process is based off of how can we shorten our testing cycle so that we can iterate and get better faster. So like, for example, I want to go through testing cycles faster because I'm going to get better faster. Right? So here's why I use photo ads to test. This is the sauce. If I do a video ad, this is what it looks like. I have the idea for the video on day 0. I script out the video on day 1. I then film the video on day 2. Then I send it. It takes 3 days to edit because your editors also have other things that they're doing. Then I have to review the ad. I have to send them back revisions. I get the revisions back. Finally, I can launch the ads. And then I have to wait 7 days to review the data. So basically, I'm on day 17 from idea to actually knowing if it works or not. That's a long time. Your testing cycle is way longer, meaning in a year, you can test a lot less than someone doing what I'm about to show you. So with photo ads, we can test angles very quickly. So if I have an idea for an angle, I can make the ad on Canva in 5 seconds. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not even going to show you how to do it because when you see the photo, you'll be able to figure it out. I can create the ad in 5 minutes and launch it same day and see if it works very quickly. And I can do tons of these constantly. I don't have to film anything. It literally takes 5 minutes. And after a few days, I can start to look and see what are my outliers. And then from there, with the outliers, that's what I turn into videos. So let me explain. I'll show you guys exactly how it works, but just notice the difference. 17-day testing cycle, and maybe it's a little exaggerated, but you get the point. You could probably do it in less than 17 days versus 3 days from idea, launch it same day, and then I get the data back by day 3 and I can make a decision. So we use photo ads to rapid test angles and concepts. So for example, this is kind of what a photo ad might look like. Attention lawyers, get 10 new cases this month using our AI lead machine. We qualify the leads for you. Click learn more to see how it works. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to launch a ton of these little photo ads, and I'm looking for outliers, right? So we launch 3 to 5 new photo ads per day at around $50 each. So that's $150 to $250 a day in new tests. We're looking for outliers. So something that gets a really good cost per book call, that has a high percentage of qualified leads, or has a high click-through rate, right? And then I'm going to take the photo ad angles that are performing the best, and I'm going to scale the performers and then kill the losers, right? What I'm going to do with the top performing ads is I review them, whatever photo ads are working the best, and then we turn those into video ads. So now on my videos, I'm taking higher percentage shots, right? Because it's based off of something that is working. So the photo ads, I can test a bunch. And then on the videos, I can make videos, because again, they take longer. I make videos based off of things I already know work. Does that make sense? So my schedule, I write scripts Wednesday, and then I film everything on Thursday, okay? So let me kind of show you what this actually looks like. So how do I actually create the scripts? Because this is very important. You can't just write any script. It has to be good. And the better your scripts are, the better your angles are, the better your ads are going to perform. So I use Manus AI, which is an AI agent platform, to create a master PDF. Okay, so this is what it would basically look like. So I go on Manus and be like, all right, so I want you to help me create a master PDF that compiles all of the information about my company, offer, testimonials, case studies, how I speak, the language I use in the ads, some top performing ads in the past. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a master file that I can upload to any GPT, whether it be Manus, Claude, ChatGPT, and basically give it all the info about my offer so that it can then write me top performing ad scripts. So I want you to structure this PDF in a way, it's going to be a very large doc that's going to have a lot of info, but you're going to structure it in a way where it could train an AI on everything that it would need to know about my business to write top performing ad scripts. Right? So I would send that into Manus, and then I would go and you're going to give it as much info you can about your ideal avatar, about your offer, about you're going to upload all your testimonials and results, like your big ones and your case studies, etc. You're going to upload your best performing ad scripts, some inspiration for hooks, and then also a swipe file of ads that you like, right? So it takes like maybe an hour, 30 minutes to an hour to do that. You want to be go over the top with making this really, really good. Then you can simply use your master GPT or your master PDF, upload that to the LLMs to create your scripts. So here's essentially what I'll do. We take the proven scripts and I'll make 5 hooks per angle that's proven. So 5 different hooks. They're going to be very different hooks. You don't want to just do change one word in the hook. It should be a different concept. And then 2 bodies per angle, right? So if I was making an ad off of attention lawyers get 10 new cases per month using our AI lead machine, I would make 2 different body scripts based off of what is actually going on in this ad, right? And you can use AI to actually do that for you. So we can use Manus AI. If we upload our master PDF, we can create a custom GPT on ChatGPT. And then we can also use Claude, which in my opinion, I've actually found that Claude is the best AI at not sounding like an AI when it comes to writing copy. Manus still kind of sounds like an AI to some extent. GPT still kind of sounds like an AI to some extent. But I would just use all three and mix and match to make your scripts, right? Next step is you're going to QC, quality control the scripts that you get back from the LLMs to make them better. Now, pro tip for this. You want to get the scripts 95% of the way there so that it's easier for you when you go to film. What I used to do is I was like, cool, I'm just going to kind of like half-ass the scripts, get them up there, and then I'll figure out what to say when I go film. Do not do that. When you're filming like 30 to 60 minutes of scripts straight, it's exhausting and you don't want to be thinking about what to say because it's just going to get you lower quality work. So you want to have the scripts like 95% of the way there, like it's good, it's done. So when you're filming, you can just read it in and out and make it fast, right? So next step is you want to film ads. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. What I started doing that I found was very easy is I'll just have all of my scripts on a doc and then I'll read off of the doc. So I don't need a teleprompter. I have my camera like right in front of me here. I read directly off of the doc and then I use this platform called Veed.io to basically correct my eye contact. So like you can see here, if I'm looking at the computer, obviously this would be a terrible ad because I'm not making eye contact with the camera. This software uses AI and it then corrects my eye contact so it looks like I'm looking at the camera while I'm reading. So that makes it so much easier. You don't have to buy a teleprompter or do anything like that. So pro tip for you there, giving you guys all the sauce. Like I said, all the sauce. Next thing, editing the ads. So do not cheap out on a video editor. I did this for way too long. Find and hire someone who is fire at video editing. It can be someone that you find in-house or you can find an agency. I found my guy through a referral. Actually met him at an event, not a referral. But I'm really happy with the guy that I work with. There's a lot of good video editors out there. Just spend the time at the beginning to go through, I would probably do like 10 interviews with different video editors and find someone that's going to be good. Don't edit your own ads. That's the dumbest thing you can do. It'll take way too much time. But if you find someone good and they understand how to edit ads and their quality and they're smart, you're going to save so much time in revisions. And I'd rather pay more to get a good video editor than have to deal with garbage. So that is what you do with the video ads. So then you launch your video ads, you see how those perform, and you take the top performing video ads, and then here's what you're going to do. You turn those videos into VO3 scripts, right? So you find your top performing scripts, and then you create a VO3 ad with those. Now, I put together a full-length video that shows you exactly how to create those VO3 ads. So if you want to check out that video, it's going to be linked right here. So go ahead and check out that VO3 tutorial so that you can learn how to take your winning ads into VO3 scripts. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the 5-step creative testing process. Again, as you're going through all of those things, you're scaling up the winners, you're scaling up the performers, and then the top performers, you move on to the next section. So go check out that VO3 video, and I'll see you guys there. Take care.